hype about living the dream? It's time for truth. This is the place for tools, power, and real talk so you can create the life you dream and deserve. Your ultimate life. Subscribe, share, create. You have infinite power.
Hello, welcome to Your Ultimate Life. Today, welcome to my living room. We're going to talk today about something that's really important. And it's often the first thing people think about when we start talking about ultimate life stuff. And we've made this comparison before, but I want to emphasize it again before we jump into today's topic. And as soon as we talk about ultimate life or dream life or the life you want or things like that, the first thought, and usually the first thing that comes out of people's mouths is money. I need money. I need more money. Now, I need more money. So I'm going to take that apart and explore what we might be saying. And you might not mean this, but a need is a thing that we feel like we have to have. I need food. I need water. I'm thirsty. I need air. There's needs and there's wants. We know the difference, but we don't really differentiate them, especially when we're talking about money. Often what we mean is the supply of resources in the form of money, the amount of cash I have right now and that I can see coming with fair certainty in the foreseeable future feels tight. It feels like I may not be able to pay the things I owe. Or it feels like I won't be able to do the things I want to do besides the things I owe. I'm just going to get by. Then we go into the resentment sort of feeling of I'm just getting by. Why can't I have more? That I see other people have more vacations, a better car, an upgraded house, the kind of more, better clothes, better suit, better handbag, better whatever, right? And so I need more money can mean any of that. It could mean I need more compared to someone that I know. I've got a friend who always seems to be, eat at the more expensive restaurants, have more stuff than me, and seems never to worry about it. And I'm fussed about it. Now, well, that may be true. Why they're worried about it, we make up a story. They have more. And maybe we know that and maybe we don't. So I need more money is often, like I said, the very first thing people think about when we talk about ultimate life. And there's some obvious possible reasons. One is not having, if I believe, it doesn't matter what I actually have, if I believe that I don't have enough money, resources, energy in the form of money is just an agreement, right? It's just a method that we use to transact goods and services. It's accumulated energy. Think about it. I use my energy to grow a garden. I harvest the vegetables, more energy, and I have them. And then I sell them to you. And you don't give me something tangible. You give me some money because that's an accumulation of your energy. So then I take it and I put it somewhere on the shelf in the bank, whatever, or in Bitcoin or wherever you put extra money. So it's just an agreement, but it's also a religion. And in that religion, the religion of money, the more I have, the more important I am, the better I am, the more powerful I am, and a bunch of other things. So there's all this twisted logic around I need more money. Now, I'm not telling you anything you don't know. The reason for this episode, here we're creating your ultimate life. And my purpose in doing this podcast and this episode is to arm you with knowledge, with skill, with energy, and with tools to create the life you want. And that might mean more money. And we've talked a lot about different ways to do that. Just this last week on LA Talk Radio, which is live on Tuesdays, by the way, Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific, LA Talk Radio. Just go online, or they have an app and they're live. It's live radio. It's good and it's fun. I've been doing it for a couple of years now. I talked about one way to make more money, to create, and when I say make more money, let's use a different description. Money follows value. So if I go to work and I perform a set of tasks, presumably I'm creating value for the company that I work for. And so they give me energy, money, a check, a deposit, Bitcoin, however they pay, right? So if you think about that, I do something valuable and then I get paid. There are lots of ways to do something valuable. I can go mow my neighbor's lawn. Now, I live in Edmonton, and it's getting to be winter, so nobody's mowing anything. But in a month or so, there'll be snow to shovel. So I could go shovel snow, and what I give them is a clean driveway, and they give me some money. One of the things we talked about in that LA Talk Radio episode, and I've talked about here also, is I can create a set of tools that are unique tools that nobody else has. Where do I get those tools? Well, I mine my life for those tools. Let me give you a really specific example. And as I do this, I don't want you to just hear Kellen talking about his stuff. I want you to hear and ask yourself the question, what could I do? So I struggled with depression for decades. That struggle led me to some dark places, addictions, and a couple of suicide attempts and failed relationships, and behavior that I was not good led to loss of jobs and career and, a lot of drama in my life. So in 2007, I had a change of heart, and it was a divine intervention. And I'm not going to do the details now because it'll take too long. But if you want the details, they're in a book, one of the 20 books that I've written, called Tightrope of Depression: My Journey from Darkness, Despair, and Death to Light, Love, and Life. Check it out. The tools that I created were, as I did the work, now think of it, planted the garden, kept it weeded and watered, or, built a sculpture, or painted something, or created music, or did some accounting for someone. As I did the work to repair my life, repair my mind, repair some of the mistakes that I'd made as best I could. Some of those kind of things you can never fix, but you do what you can, make amends and all that. As I did that, I learned things. I learned tools. I learned processes that I found very valuable. So if I take those processes and things that I learned by trial and error, and with the help of my angel wife, Joy, and shrinks and coaches and everything, if I take those tools and write about them in books, I have 20, or package them up in a product or service, I have created some value, and I can sell that, and I do. So, and the reason I talked about in LA Talk Radio books is because one of the ways to do it that is easier today than it's ever been in the universe is to write a book. I was talking to a fabulously successful person yesterday. He's going to be a guest on my podcast, this show, and it'll be out at the end of November, first part of December. I asked him after the episode, and he gave a fabulous episode, and not about books, if he'd written about his own story and journey. And he told me, I've thought about it, and I've got 100,000 words under my belt, meaning he's written different things. And then I get, sidetracked or bored, or I can't finish it or whatever. So we talked about that, and now he's resolved that he really would serve people by going ahead and finishing that project. So I hope he's going to do it. Maybe I'll get a chance to help him. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. So that thought, that story is a way for him to create value and make money. So making money is very simple. It is a process of creating something valuable, sharing it with those who need it, and creating a transaction. That's all. So if you grow a garden, you sell your tomatoes. If you write a book, you sell not just a story, but you sell what you learned. And I'm talking about nonfiction. If you write fiction, like, The Lord of the Rings or even other books, you sell it for entertainment value. People love to read for that, to get disconnected and have a break or go to movies or do that kind of thing or tell stories. Plays and movies, they tell stories. And there are hundreds of other ways besides writing the book. You create coaching programs and online courses. What is it? Udemy, full of thousands of online courses. Groove, the number 3, is another site you've probably never heard of, unless you're a musician or a studio guy, because the experts there take apart all the studio software and teach people how to use it. Same thing. Buy a subscription. It's a library. So you making money is simple, simpler now than it's ever been in the history of the world, because we have the internet, because we have AI to help us write and edit. We have video tools. We have, I'm recording this on StreamYard. We can reach the whole world and we can create things that would have been impossible to create 30 years ago. So we can create stuff faster and better. We can reach the whole world. Now, yeah, that means there's more competition and more noise. So that means we have to do a better job at creating stuff that's valuable. We have to create a unique selling proposition or explain why this is different. Example, I see on television occasionally an ad for Harbor Freight. Now, I used to get flyers in my mailbox from Harbor Freight, and they sell discounted tools and nuts and bolts and, those plastic boxes with 27 compartments in it with every kind of bolt, nut, washer, and, everything else you ever heard of. And you can buy them very inexpensively compared to going down to Home Depot or Lowe's or something and buying them there. And then there's the feeling that stuff bought from Harbor Freight, it's kind of second tier quality and maybe breaks sooner. I don't know. I bought lots of things, mostly fasteners from them, picture hangers and screws and bolts and everything else. They all work just fine. I've never bought power tools from them, but they sell that. Now they sell it for less and they brag about being less. And then other tools are more. Craftsman, and I don't know the names of all the high powered tools because I'm not that. And so that creation of value by the creator of tools, that's a thing. And they sell it. Now, let's go back to you, because there's lots of what I've just described to you is the simple version of money. We use it as a trade thing. We go create it by working at a job in somebody else's company, or we create our own business and we figure out how to create value. The difficulty with money comes from the stories. So here's one story. More is better. Maybe that's true and maybe it's not. But the religion of money says that's an absolute fundamental doctrine. More is better. I can tell you, I have had the conversation many times with an individual I know personally and know well, who's worth centimillionaire, in the hundreds of millions. Don't think they're a billionaire, but hundreds of millions. Certainly more money than they can spend. And you know what their reflection on it was? After a certain amount, it gets to be a problem. It's more difficult to deal with. It causes more difficulty and problems than it solves. Isn't that interesting? Now, I've never had $100 million, although I'm on the way there, but I haven't. That was an interesting observation. And this individual reflected to me conversations they've had with people in the same boat who feel the same. So more isn't better. So when you say, I need more money, I want you to stop and think about what you're saying. If you say, I don't have the resources to get my basics covered, rent, food, medical care, etc., that's one level of need. I need more because I want to have more fun, take more vacations, not have to work so hard. That's another level of need. Remember, our ancestors, even a generation ago, my dad worked 2 jobs. And my mom worked during tax season. And before that, I've got stories even today of people working 2 or 3 jobs. That's hard. I'm not saying we need to run and do that, but that's sometimes for periods of our life, we do that, right? And So think about when you say, I need more money, what are you saying? For ease, for necessities, for ease, for comparison, to have a certain bench in the church of money? Like, why do you need that? And here's why it's important to understand that. Because often people are looking at money, possessions, what it will buy, what it will do, to fill a hole in your soul. You don't feel valuable. You don't feel good enough. You don't feel like you have status. Money won't fix that. Hear me. That's from my own bitter personal experience. When I had more money than I knew what to do with, I used it poorly, and it created way more problems for me. And you've heard those stories, and they're also in that book, Tightrope of Depression. So the hole in your soul, if there is one, an emptiness, a yearning, a longing, I'm not fulfilled, and we automatically, because of the religion of money and because of advertising and because of consumerism and buy this, buy that, take this fashion, do that, it presents it as if you have that, then you're cool. You'll get the guy, you'll get the girl, you'll be looked at as cool, and all of the rest of that sort of doctrine that goes with it. It's not true, because you can never get enough of what you don't need. Hear that. You can never get enough of something you don't need, because what you don't need won't satisfy you. So it's more important to understand what we actually need. We need to be loved. We need to create value. We need to love and serve each other. Those things are food for the spirit. Now, we need food for the body. And if that's in deficiency, then you need money or some other trading mechanism. Food for the spirit can't be purchased with money. Love is the food for the spirit. Service is the food for the spirit. It's a lie to think that money fills the hunger we feel for belonging, for service, for kindness, for love, to give and receive love. So that's one of the biggest lies. Another sort of branch of that thing is the idea that I need more money, that somehow money means something about you. That's not true. If you have $1 billion or you have $10,000, a huge difference there. Does having $1 billion mean something about you? It might mean that you inherited it. It might mean that you were really good at creating something. I saw something the other day that said we're creating about 1,700 new millionaires a day. That blew my mind. Most of them are young, using the internet and doing exactly what I described earlier, creating some software, a product or service or arbitrage, and providing and scaling a service, creating an app that people love. They're creating some value. It spreads rapidly. Why? Because we have the internet and the ability to get in front of everybody. And because we have TikTok and, the gram and sharing all that stuff. Because that's there, people are creating value and people are buying it. Buy. And so we're creating 1,700 new millionaires a day. So what it says about people is they're creative, maybe very creative. They've discovered an innovative way to create and transmit value. And so that does mean that maybe there's an element of being in the right place at the right time and some connections. Those things certainly help. But does it mean anything about you, your character, your heart? No, it doesn't. Someone that's got $1 billion could be a jerk, unkind, cruel, stomped all over everybody to get it. Or they could be a different person. But the money isn't the thing that makes the difference. If they had $1,000 and they're kind and serve and love, that's who they are. And if they have $1 million, they're kind and serve and love. Or $1 billion or any other number. So I want you to think about it when you say, I need more money. Now, I want to talk about how we get there and what we do about it. Let's say you do need money for your basics and necessities. Then you need, if you want to solve that problem, you have the opportunity to assess your skills, do a skills inventory. What do I know how to do? What do people need? Where can I sell or provide this? I meet, because I'm a coach, I meet a lot of people who are also trying to be a coach or get in the coaching business. Usually people become a coach because something has happened in their lives. They have overcome some particular difficulty and then are fired up by the feeling that they could be of service. That is not enough to create a living, a business as a coach. The yearning in your heart is a good place to start, but you have to understand business, and that usually means you got to get some coaching. A coach needs to get some coaching about business and a bunch of other things, but this episode isn't about that. This is about the lies about money. So we were just talking about having more or less money means something about you. Well, it does. It means you're good at making money, but that doesn't mean anything about your character, your heart, or anything else, because remember, we came into this world with Jack, right? Naked and nothing. But we also came free of prejudice, hate, negativity. We didn't have any of that either. As we live here, we learn a bunch of stuff, lots of it bad, lots of it fearful, lots of it unhealthy. We also learn some good stuff, how to take care of ourselves and so forth. Personal development is about unlearning the bad, augmenting the good, and then choosing to add good to the world. Another lie about money is those that are loving and kind can't make any. Coaches and healers that use all kinds of healing modalities. I went to the IANS conference, the Near-Death Experience Conference, and spoke there in August. There were hundreds and hundreds of people there. Many of them have had these extraordinary experiences and now possess gifts of insight and love and kindness and understanding and empathy. And they have no idea how to use that to serve in a way to get paid. And they also have this myth, and it is a myth, that because it's some kind of a spiritual thing, it should all be free. No, it shouldn't. If a doctor heals me, that's not free. If a coach helps me understand my struggles, overcome them, get rid of my fear, and helps me be bold and create, and so I'm successful, that's not free. That's the transfer of real value to me, and that's happened. That's real. I'm not making that up. I've had coaches all the time. I love the process of coaching. I look for it everywhere. Every book I read, every person I talk to, it's like, what learning can I take here to make me a better person? And none of that has anything to do with money. Now, another problem, another lie about money is we have a story of good and evil. Rich people are evil. You have to be poor to be good. As soon as you get, money, it cankers your soul. And the truth is, it does sometimes for many. As soon as people get money, then they start to lord it over others and, blah, 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 I'm better than you and so forth. That's the religion of money. That religion is poison. It is death. It is destructive. It is dark. If, on the other hand, you accumulate resources and you say, hey, I'm going to do good. I'm going to be a philanthropist. I'm going to support good causes. I'm going to teach other people how to make money so they are not struggling. And I'm going to lift and bless all those around me. Now, you don't give yourself into poverty because then you're done. So creating boatloads of cash for the purpose of doing good, heroic. I'm on that train. That's exactly what I'm doing. And it is informed by my own struggles and journey, the things that I've overcome. Now, in that, when I say you can make all the money you want from your own life experience, the things you've struggled with, overcome, discovered, learned, the thing that gets in the way of most people doing that, because I'm sure you've heard that 1,000 times. So here's the thing that gets in the way. You're afraid. You're afraid of what someone's going to think. You're afraid someone's going to say you can't do that. Who are you? And all of the related things. You're afraid you'll fail. Well, you know what? You will fail many times. So is everybody. You will have haters. So does everybody. So join the human race for failing. Join the human race for having haters and get past that. You and I, we can make a choice to go create what we have. I write music. I've got a third song. That'll be number 92, 3, and 4. I make 94 songs I have up. Can't wait to get to 100. I am absolutely sure there are people that listen to my music and think it's crap. I am also absolutely certain that there are people who listen to the music and they're like, oh, that is the most inspired stuff in the universe. And those are the people I'm writing for. I've written 20 books. I'm working on number 21. I am sure there are people that read books and say, oh, I've read better. Okay. And there are people I know, because I get texts, of people that carry one or more of my books around and read it every single day, because for them, the message is powerful. All of those tools are available to you too. There's nothing magic about me. I didn't start writing at all till I was 52. Okay, I wasn't a writer. I didn't aspire to be one. I was a musician from the time I could breathe. I don't remember learning to read music. I learned at the same time I learned to read when I was 4 or 5 or something. So music, and I was blessed with the gifts of music and harmony and just all kinds of stuff. And so I'm using those, the gift of writing and the gift of music, the gift of speaking, to inspire and lift and bless and create cash. Not in the religion of money sense. I don't care how much I have. I need to eat, pay rent, and do all the stuff we all need to do. And everything besides that is focused on increasing the audience. This year, my commitment is to reach 300 million people. And not just reach them, to show you how to create wealth and impact with your gifts, your life experience, and the skills you have, and leveraging all the amazing tools we've got. That's the only mission I'm on. And in the process, I sell books, I sell music, I sell coaching, I get people that want specific help, I help people create products and services. And that's what I have chosen to do. Now, I have a friend, I have clients, of course. I have a client in the import-export business. I have another client that teaches people how to freelance. I have another client that runs a nonprofit, a business helping nonprofits get started and navigate, the IRS in the US and all the rest of the things, and many, many others. And because of my experience, I'm able to help them. Now, I want you to realize and look at your life. Where are you drinking the Kool-Aid of the lies of money? That you need more to be cool, that you need more than other people, that it means something about you, that more is automatically better. If you're not covering your basic needs, then you do need some. And then go do exactly the same thing as if you have enough, or if you don't have enough, you do exactly the same thing. You figure out, what skills and gifts do I have? Who needs them? How can I sell them in the marketplace? Getting a job is one way. Creating a business is another way. Writing a book is another way. Creating a course is another way. Being a street musician is another way. I have a friend who's not a client who makes a good bit of his living doing musical shows in old folks' homes. He's really good. He's entertaining. He's funny. He plays and sings and goes around to lots of places and does that. Now, in the last year or two, he's also become a coach. Why did he become a coach? Because he had to overcome fears and challenges to go do this thing that he does well. And he knew, and is right, that he could help people with their own fears and challenges. If you are held back by any of the things that we've talked about today, please reach out. I invite you. Be one of my 300 million that I helped us figure out how you can create wealth and impact with your own life story, your gifts and your talents. That's all I'm doing. I invite you to do 3 things. I invite you to share this podcast with someone who needs the message about the lies about money and how to create it. I invite you to reach out and get a hold of me. Okay, the URL on the screen, kellenflukigermedia.com, kellenflukigermedia.com. Go there. There's tons of stuff there. Free stuff. Okay, this is not about, I need money, free stuff. And there's links to all the books that I have. And there's links to courses that I have, that I've created because I've gone through these things and thought, wow, look what I learned. I might be able to help you. So go to kellenflukigermedia.com. The last invitation, so share the podcast, go to kellenflukigermedia.com. The last invitation is this. If you are living right now that ultimate life, so you love every day and you've already done the things that I'm talking about, you're adding good to the world, you're following your own passion and mission, I'm inviting you to reach out and connect. Because I want to put you on the show if you want to share your message. Because it isn't just about Kellen sharing his message. I love to be an amplifier, a megaphone, a platform for you to share your message, your success, what you do, what you offer to the world. I want to help you share your message, build your business, create the impact you want. So those are 3 invitations that I offer to you, and I invite you to take them seriously. Grateful that you're here. Thanks for listening today. And I want to assure you, the religion of money will kill you. Making money is easier today than it's ever been. If you make money for the purposes of greed or filling a hole in your soul, it won't work. If you make money for the purposes of adding good to the world and following your passion to love and serve, it will be more beautiful than you can imagine. And it will help you, guide you, and give you energy to create your ultimate life.
Never hold back and you'll never ask why. Open your heart and this time around.
Right here, right now. Your opportunity for massive growth is right in front of you. Every episode gives you practical tips and practices that will change everything. If you want to know more, go to KellenFlukigerMedia.com. If you want more free tools, go here, YourUltimateLife.ca. Subscribe, share.
Stand with your heart in the sky and your feet on